it's Micheline from Micheline Makes again. I haven't really been around for a couple of weeks. Last weekend I just couldn't be bothered. I just thought, oh, I'm not in the mood for doing anything. But to be fair, it's because we had so much going on with his mother's flat. We had a deadline to get it finished by this weekend, so we were busy trying to get everything sorted. The oven that had been fitted, when we got the gas guy to come and connect it, apparently it was about 2 centimetres too deep. So unfortunately John had gone off to Australia. It's more than 4 weeks that we fitted this oven, and so I said to his lordship, I said, what are you going to do? And it was going to cost £280 if we wanted to get it rejigged, or his lordship decided, right, he says, I'm going to get a new oven. And he said, this oven that's in, he says, we'll have it. So we are the now proud owners of a new oven. At least it hasn't been fitted yet, but we've got a new oven. It's one of those that pushes into the unit. So apparently it fits well into ours, and so we're going to have that. We brought that home the other day. And we've had it, I think I've already mentioned this, painted, carpeted. We had to do some finishing touches during last week, so just touch-ups here and there, and I had to paint. She's got a little door outside, like a little shed, built-in shed, so I just painted the door and a few other little things, but we finally got it sorted, and it has been let. So even better, it's been let. So we've got some people moving in next week, so that's all great. His lordship said, I'm so pleased I don't have to keep going down there to do that. So it's been a hard slog, but it's been well worth it. And here's his lordship now coming through the door. He's very tired. He's looking very scruffy and very tired.
What are you talking to the mirror?
I'm talking to the camera.
Hello, camera. How are you today?
He's tired, aren't you?
I'm ghost.
He's ghost. Why are you ghost?
Well, I've got this.
I'll move you up.
Oh, I'm moving up. I'm going
Moving on up.
Hello. I've got this sort of hay fevery post-nasal drip.
Yes, because all the trees are in blossom at the moment.
Thing going on in me, and it's basically, well, that and the work.
Oh yeah, tell them what you've been doing.
Well, we decided to landscape the garden.
No, before that you were doing your mother's house.
Well, doing my mum's house. Yeah, but that's done now.
That's done now.
So now we're landscaping the garden.
That's a box ticked.
So I spent the last couple of days lifting paving stones and shifting them and moving them and shifting them and all that kind of stuff. And the one thing that you forget when you get old is that it's not that easy to do it anymore. So consequently my body's complaining.
Oh, and yesterday afternoon
we
finally finished the curtains.
The curtains,
mammoth task. I'll tell you about that in a minute.
But I was asked if I could put the curtain rail up in a bay window.
Yes.
Now,
for those of you who don't know, a bay window is a curved window. It's like a semicircle.
Yeah. Everybody I know, including experienced builders, have lost their rag with bay windows and curtain rails. And I got a taste of it myself yesterday. I've never come across anything like it. On paper, it's straightforward.
Yeah.
Right? But have you ever tried to bend plastic
that
doesn't want to bend?
Put the curtain rail in the curve and it wouldn't bend. So I had to put the hairdryer on it to try and bend it a bit.
The instructions said, when you go around the corner, get the brackets 10 centimetres from the apex of the corner. I did that. Would it go? No. Not even with the hairdryer.
So we finally got it sorted, didn't we?
We did. And it works.
They're looking good. Although one side seems to be level, touching the windowsill, and the other side seems to be lower. And we spent ages measuring and measuring and measuring. I kept saying, It's got to be exact. It's got to be exact. So when he was doing the bay window, you actually said that it's not level.
It's not level.
It's not level. So one side is about 1 centimetre lower than the other side.
Yeah, it's a bit wacky. So the curtain rail's straight, but it doesn't look straight.
But it looks lovely. They've sent me a picture this morning. She's going to lift the right hand curtain a little bit higher, and it'll be less noticeable, but it'll just touch the windowsill nicely.
Alright. Oh, well, is it everybody's happy?
Everybody's happy, yes.
Apart from me, because I feel like death warmed up. But, and I'm going down to feel sorry for myself.
So what did you come in?
No, I'm
what
not.
Did you come in to tell me?
That I was going to go up to the shop.
Oh, you're going up to the shop?
Well, I looked in the fridge and there's nothing there.
In the fridge, no.
The fridge was bare.
It's lunchtime.
And it's lunchtime, so I'm going up.
Right.
Going up.
Okay, see you later.
See you in a bit.
So I've been doing some selfless sewing with the curtains, and I was quite pleased with myself because we put some new blinds up in the flat, and we got blinds made for all the rooms except the bathroom, and there was already a roller blind in the bathroom. And I said, we'll need to get a new blind for this, and he said, I don't want to, that blind's fine. And I kept saying, it's a bit dated, it's a bit yucky, that blind. And he said, no, we'll just leave it, I'm saving money. And I thought, oh, it's not very nice blind. Well, it was, in its time it was nice, but the bathroom was the only room that it had nothing done to it. I mean, I'd given it a thorough clean. It was a wet room. That basically, because of her age, they'd taken the bath out and the shower out and made it into a wet room, and it was a beigey brown. Well, I don't like beigey browns. Some people might do, but I don't like beigey browns. And I thought, oh, this needs perking up a bit. So I said, right, I'm going to take the roller blind off the window and take it home. And I thought, I'll have a look and see if I've got any fabric in my stack behind here that I could maybe make a roller blind with. And at first I looked and I couldn't find anything. Then I found exactly the right fabric, and this is it. You may remember that I showed you it. I can't remember where I got it from. It wasn't very expensive, but this is it. It's a see-through type of fabric. This is the right way. And it's got blues in, it's got browns in, it's got, not browns, but pinks in. And so I decided I'd use this. And what I did was, I cut down the side in a straight line. And obviously, because it was going to be a roller blind, it needed firming up on the actual fabric's fine. It's a little bit on the stiff side, so it's a bit like a roller blind. But obviously this could fray. So I went down both edges with my fingers, took some fray stop, which is really PVA glue, and I just went down both edges like that with the glue, and of course it dries to clear, and it went right down, all the way down on both sides, and it just basically stopped the edges from fraying. And then I fitted the curtain into the roller blind and rolled it up, and it looked lovely. And I'll put a little video up to show you what it's like. I was quite pleased with myself. I've never made a roller blind before, but I figured a lot of people have said, oh, you can do it, it's straightforward and it's easy. So I did that, and I was quite pleased with myself. So I've only got a little bit of this left, which I need to find something to do. Maybe to make some makeup bags or something. happy, man?
I think we've done a brilliant job.
Excellent. You're in darkness there.
With a lot of thanks to John and Barbara, it has to be said.
And the carpet fitter and the painter and decorator.
And the gas man.
And the gas man.
Mick, Mike and Dylan.
Mick, Mike, Dylan and John.
And John. Well, our John.
Our John.
I already mentioned him. That's 2 mentions our John's got. Got to his head.
So that was done, and then my son asked if I could put covers on some dining chairs, and the dining chairs have had straw on them. They were I forgot what you call it, where they're woven with, there's a pattern, wicker. It was like a wickery type of chair, and he wanted cushioned ones on. So his lordship and I got the wood. Went to B&Q, got the wood cut into squares, and then his lordship has cut them and reshaped the wood. And I'll show you a little picture at the original with the straw taken off. And so obviously we can't use that because it's got a hole in the middle. So we've had this cut, and his lordship has done the corners. It's not actually square, it's actually at an angle. Oh, here he is. The singing just.
Hey!
Yeah.
You've got to take that flipping tailor's dummy out of the room.
Why?
Because it keeps making me jump. Because I don't expect it there walking. I think there's somebody there.
Well, now you know what I feel when you creep up on me in the rooms. You're very good at creeping up on me.
I'm a human, and that thing's inhuman.
Oh yeah, well, you should know my tailor's dummy's always around wherever I am.
They're weird. They do well in a horror film. Your tailor's dummies, they speak. They say stuff. Hey you. Wait until I don't think they do. I've
just bought the foam, and I'm going to cover them with what fabric I have left from the curtains. And in case you didn't see that, this is the fabric that we used for the curtains. It was this blue fabric. What I had to do, I've never made curtains, well I have made curtains before, but not, obviously when you're making them for somebody else you want them to really look good. And I wanted to do it properly, and I looked online to find a video. And I found this lady's video, and I have to say, if you want to make curtains and you want someone to show you how to do lined ones, this lady is absolutely wonderful. But she has an unusual name. There are lots of videos out there that show you on YouTube that show you how to make curtains, but this particular lady's video caught my eye, and it was how to make curtains with lining for beginners. And I thought that's me. I watched a couple of vlogs to see which ones were the best, and this was the one that appealed to me. But can you see what the lady's name is? Let's see what her name is. Now I'm going to say it in the posh way. Her name is Louise Bastard, and I thought, what a funny name. And then I went to look at her. I mean, she hasn't done many videos, so this particular one I just like to watch. And she only has 1,000 subscribers, and I think she's only made quite a few of her things a year ago, so she hasn't done anything since. But when I looked at her, she says, "Hi, my name is Louise Bastard, and yes, that is my real surname. I officially married a bastard on paper. I enjoy most crafts and love showing people how to make an item. I hope you enjoy my videos. If you have any problems, please email on," and she gives her email address. I followed her word for word from her. She showed you how she was making some curtains herself, and I had to email her just to say I'm really pleased with what I've done, and I thought your video was good. But I thought her name was quite unusual, and I thought, golly, she must have been keen to marry a man with that name. Anyway, the curtains are made. I've got the dining chairs to do, which I've got the foam for, I've got the fabric for. I've just shown you this is the fabric, and I'm going to make covers for the dining chairs, and there's only 4 of them, so that shouldn't take me too long. I've got one of these, not a staple gun, I've got one of these ones on the air pressured ones. So I once reupholstered a chair, and I used the hand one, and my hand was really hurting afterwards. It took me about 3 months to get the feeling back into it, so I thought, right, I'm not having that, and I bought this air pressured thing that goes so I've got one of those, so that'll work out quickly for me to do it, and I'll have those dining chairs covered hopefully pretty quickly. I've shortened these. Do you remember these tops that I made? Do you notice the sewing bee did a twist top like this? I've just put this bit in for you because I'm just telling you about this twist top. I did have it pinned up here before because I was bending over a lot and these were popping out. So I've dropped this pin down a bit further. This is the downside about crossover things. When you've got a big bust, you tend to expose everything. But this was, as I've just said, was on the sewing bee, not this top, but the twist top. And if you go to this that I'm going to put up here, that is the Fold Line vlog site. And what this lady does is every week that the sewing bee is on, then she tells you about the patterns that match up to those patterns that they have on the sewing bee. But also I'm going to put some up here to show you that some of the patterns that you can do that are very similar. She's mentioned them, I've mentioned them, and I think I've added a couple more. So if you have these patterns, a couple of them are out of print, so you might happen to have them in your stock, but check them out and see, if you like that pattern, go for it. I'll also list them down below with the links to where you can find them. But this, I decided I was going to shorten all of them. I left one of them long, and I'll put the pictures up to let you see which one, what they look like shortened. A lot of you said make them shorter, and I agree with you, they look a lot better when they're shorter. But the one that I left long, I quite liked it a bit longer. So I'm going to leave it like that. And I've been making 2 dresses, and I love what I've created, the 2 dresses, and I've kind of I've hacked them. It's a hack, and the hack, let me just show you. The hack was, I bought this pattern, a Vogue pattern, and I thought it was lovely. See that? I thought it was a lovely pattern. This one in particular, the shirt dress type thing, and I liked it. I kind of like the sleeves a little bit, but I just got that out and I thought, oh, I don't really want to be cutting all these patterns up. So I thought, what can I do? Is there anything I can do something similar with this? And I found something that I'd already cut out. And the pattern that I decided was, I took the lyra top, the Tilly and the Buttons lyra top there, which I'd made a dress from, and I thought, right, I'm going to add a different skirt to it. So I added the Sew Over It circular skirt that's on the Betty dress, which is almost a circular skirt, and I thought I'd combine the two. The first one I made, I absolutely fell in love with. I thought was absolutely lovely, and so I made another one. The first one, both are kind of a tropical pattern to them. The first one is like a browny rusty colour, if I remember rightly, and I love it. I absolutely love it. The second one was made with this fabric, and this was a very, very expensive fabric. I bought it when I first got back into sewing, and it's a lovely blue tropical type of pattern. I actually preferred the first one to this one, but this was very expensive by my standards. I think I bought 3 meters and it was £70, and that's a lot of money for me. I think the first one I probably would only have spent about £20 on it at the most. 3 meters on the first one, but this is lovely. They're both lawn. They both hang beautifully, and I was very impressed by the result. And I'll put a little video up to let you see what that turned out like. I'm busy working my way through my fabrics, trying to tidy them up, trying to decide which ones which ones need to be making things. I'm trying to make things, as I've said before, turning out as much as I can, enjoying sewing, but just trying to create things. I have 2 serges. The first one is a Toyota, and it conked out a couple of years back, 3 years back. And I bought a second one, not a brand new one. I bought it on eBay second hand. It was a Frister and Rossmann, and I absolutely loved it. I still do. I love it. But before I started making these 2 dresses, it stopped working. And this is another bug for me, because it stopped working about a month ago, and I kept saying I've got to go and get them serviced. I look after them, I clean them, I do everything, I maintain them, but both of them need servicing. And so, in fact, it would be about 6 weeks ago that happened. And annoyingly, I had to do my very old-fashioned way of finishing seams, of doing a straight stitch down when I sewed a seam together, straight stitch, trim it close, and then zigzag down. That was my favourite way of doing it in days gone by. So I had to do that with a couple of these 2 dresses, and still haven't got round to taking them to be fixed, which every time I kept saying we must go on Tuesday to get them fixed, and then something happened, or we had to go down and sort the flat out, so I never got round to it. So in the end, don't tell him, I bought another serger, and the serger I bought was it's a Brother Lock M343D, and I'm loving using it. So hopefully, now that we are finished with this flat, it's half term next week, so we've got grandchildren coming up on Monday till the Wednesday, and then we've got another set of grandchildren coming on the Thursday, Friday and Saturday. So I probably won't be able to go and get these other sergers fixed until next week, the week after. But at least I've got one that's going to tie me over in the meantime. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to let you have a look at what I created. So I'm going to love you, and I'm going to leave you, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!